Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Pauline Verzosa. The Senate has elected new committee chairs 3 days after the sudden shakeup. Former Senate President Mig Zubiri was elected the chairman of the Economics Affairs Committee. His committee predecessor, Senator Mark Villar, will take over the government corporations and public enterprises. Senator Alan Peter Cayetano will handle 2 committees, Trade and Industry and Higher Technical and Vocational Education. His sibling, Senator Pia, was elected the Energy Committee chair, while Grace Poe will get the Finance Committee. The Justice and Human Rights Committee is now under Senator Sonny Angara, while Senator Nancy Binay will get the Sustainable Development Goals Committee. Senator J.V. Ejercito is back in the local government after resigning from the committee 3 days ago. Senator Joel Villanueva takes the Labor Committee and Senator Raffy Tulfo will handle the Public Services Committee. Senator Lito Lapid will preside over the Tourism Committee and Senator Amy Marcos will head the Urban Planning, Housing and Resettlement Committee. Bamban Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo was grilled again at the Senate hearing yesterday about her dubious past. Senators Raffy Tulfo and Risa Ontiveros caught the discrepancies of her parents' marriage and birth certificates. Guo earlier claimed that her father, Angelito Guo, and her biological mother, Amelia Leal, never married. But documents show that the two got married twice. Guo also said her father is a Chinese citizen, but her birth certificate indicated that Angelito is a Filipino citizen.
Kung siya ay Chinese, yung tatay nyo, bakit kaya ang sabi sa birth certificate mo na ang tatay mong si Angelito Guo ay Filipino? Bakit ganun?
Your Honor, yung Angelito po, yan po yung Filipino name po ng tatay ko.
Pero yung citizenship po yung tinatanong ko, Mayor. Why would you say he's a Chinese national with a Chinese passport? Pero ang nakalagay sa birth certificate mo ay Pilipino siya. So, naiintindihan mo ba kung bakit ang gulo-gulo po ng kwentong buhay nyo?
Ontiveros also questioned Guo's business ties with personalities involved in a large money laundering scheme in Singapore. Guo insisted she only found out about it on social media the other day, but Ontiveros did not buy this reason.
Hindi ba dapat kung papasok kayo sa ganyang kalaking negosyo, napakalaki kumpara sa mga nauna nyo ng mga negosyo, hindi ba dapat nag-due diligence kayo?
While some residents claim they have seen Mayor Alice Guo in Bamban for a long time. However, others argue that she just suddenly appeared recently. Mobile journal Merimon Reyes has the story.
Mainit ngayon ang usapin tungkol sa mayor ng Bamban, Tarlac. Kaya naman ang ilan sa mga tagapagsuporta niya, nagpulong-pulong kahit pa mga mula sa kabundukan. Nagtipon sa harapan ng munisipyo ng Bamban ang higit 30 mga indigenous people at lokal mula sa iba't ibang sitio at barangay sa Tarlac. Pagpapakita raw nila ito ng suporta kay Mayor Alice Guo na kontrobersyal ngayon dahil hindi matandaan ang maraming impormasyon tungkol sa kanyang pagkakakilanlan nang humarap sa Senate hearing. Bagay na hindi raw pansin ng kanyang supporters.
Marami po siyang ibinigay na tulong o suporta sa amin sa kabundukan. Pusa po namin pasyang siniportahan namin.
Ito po ay napakabait, na ito po ay nakipagsalimuha sa mga ibang tao at sa aming mga kulot na hindi po nagdidiri. Sabihin na hindi sumaselan.
Nagkalat din ang mga ganitong tarpaulin na nagpapakita ng suporta sa alkalde. Nakita rin natin ang sinasabing piggery ni Mayor Alice Guo at sinubukang makakuha ng permiso para masilip ang loob pero walang taong sumagot sa mga katok natin. Itong buong kahabaan na ito mula yung pulang gate hanggang doon sa may kaduluhan ang sinasabi nga na piggery. Ito yung sinasabi na pinagkukuhanan niya nga raw ng pondo noong siya ay tumatakbo bilang mayor ng Bamban, Tarlac. Nadaanan din natin ang malaking lupain sa likod ng munisipyo. Ito ang lokasyon ng Pogo Hub na ni-raid noong Marso kung saan 165 Chinese nationals ang pinadeport. Sa paglilibot natin sa Bamban, ilang mga lokal ang nakausap natin na ibinahagi kung ano ang pagkakakilala nila kay Mayor.
na nakakaintindi po siya Kapampangan, pero hindi po siya makapagsalita Kapampangan talaga.
Salita niya ng Tagalog, maayos.
Maayos po, maganda po siya magsalita ng parang
Hindi namin siya kilala talaga. Pero sa panunungkulan, napaganda naman niya yung baban. Sabi-sabi ng mga tao, baka Chinese nga daw siya Finlanta. Hindi pa rin natin masabi. Bahala na yung batas.
Nagbibigay ng ginaldo sa amin doon, yung mga senior. Dalaga na. Binibinting na sa kanila. Sana makakuha na yun. Alutas na yan.
May mga iba po nagsasabi, bata pa. Sabi po niyo ng bata-bata, nakikita din po niyo si Mayor.
Meron ding nagsabi na nagulat sila sa pagdating ng bagong mukha sa bayan.
Ngayon ko lang po kasi na nakita yung babae. Bigla na lang po siyang lumusod. Hindi ko po siya kilala. Sakto na. Botohan na po. Botohan po siya na. Bigla na lang po siya nakita.
Sinusubukan pa nating makakuha ng panayam mula kay Mayor Alice Guo. Pero maging ang mga tagapagsuporta ng Mayora, hindi pa siya muli nakikita. Para naman sa ilang indigenous people ng Bamban, umaasa silang manatili sa pwesto si Mayor Guo.
Ayaw po namin siya mawala sa Bamban. Kahit po madam, sinasabi po siya ng Chinese sapagkat ang dami po madam dito umupo na taga rito, wala man po nagawa. Ngunit ang Chinese siya po ay may nagawa dito sa amin sa Bamban.
Mayroon mang pagkwestiyon sa pagkakakilanlan ng kanilang mayor, ang kanila naman natulungan at nadinig daw silang mga nasa kabundukan sa unang pagkakataon. Mobile Journal, Marymon Reyes po, hatid ang muka ng balita.
House lawmakers resumed their inquiry on the influx of Chinese students in the country. The Commission on Higher Education says Metro Manila has the most number of Chinese students, followed by Cagayan Valley. Concerns on national security remain with two EDCA sites located in Cagayan. According to CHED, they did not see any concerns since Indian nationals, not Chinese, make up most of the foreign students. It adds that the influx of foreign students is linked to the return of in-person classes.
Yung influx po talaga ng Chinese students came ng academic year 2023-2024 po, Madam Chair, because during the pandemic, it was really online. So wala po ang mga foreign students po at that time. So this year po namin i-conduct po yung inspection.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Pauline Verzosa. Former AFP Westcom Chief Vice Admiral Alberto Carlos says he spoke with a Chinese military official over the phone, but he has denied entering into any agreement with China. Here's the report.
I did not forge any agreement at the level and magnitude that would bind our two countries for the long term and redefine foreign policy.
That's former Armed Forces Western Command Commander Vice Admiral Alberto Carlos speaking for the first time about the supposed new model agreement made with China on the West Philippine Sea. Speaking before the Senate Committees on National Defense and Security and Foreign Relations, Carlos admitted that he did speak via telephone with a certain Senior Colonel Lee, who is a Chinese military attaché. When asked further by the News 5 team later on, Carlos said the person he spoke to was Chinese Senior Colonel Li Jianzhong. But in the hearing, Carlos denied that he entered into any agreement that endangers the country's national security.
The term common understanding, new model, were not part of our conversation, Mr. Chair.
Okay, what was the gist of your conversation and how many minutes was that conversation?
As far as I can remember, Mr. Chair, it lasted for 3 to 5 minutes.
According to Carlos, they did talk about ways to bring down the tensions in the West Philippine Sea. As for the details, Carlos asked for it to be tackled instead in an executive session. Carlos did share, though, that he was in the middle of an operation in the West Philippine Sea when Lee called him. Carlos said he did not know that the call was recorded.
So I have not given my consent to record to anybody, and I have not been asked for permission to do so, Mr. Chair.
After the Chinese embassy released to media outlets the transcript of their conversation, Carlos said Lee apologized to him via text message. Carlos said he did not respond to this. For senators, China is using the issue to twist the narrative and manipulate the public. Senator Francis Tolentino also called out the Foreign Affairs Department for not immediately summoning Chinese Ambassador Wang Xilian after the release of the transcripts. But the DFA says charges must first be filed against the diplomat before they can take action. The agency explains diplomats have immunity under the Vienna Convention.
They could argue, sir, that he was just exercising his function as part of his mandate as a member of the mission.
So that would mean even taping a conversation is part of his mandate. Walang ginagawa po ang DFA. Ang DFA naghihintay na may mag-file ng kaso. Ang DFA may poder na mag-declare ng persona non grata. Hindi ko rin alam kung ano pa yung hinihintay natin dito.
To be able to file a case, the Justice Department says China first needs to waive immunity provided for the Chinese military attaché that Vice Admiral Carlos spoke with. But if this does not happen, the DOJ says he can instead be declared persona non grata. The agency says they will use Carlos' sworn statement for their investigation and as basis for filing of charges. For News 5, Camille Samonte, We Are One News.
Former Supreme Court Justice Francis Hardileza says the Philippines should file a new arbitration case against China. In an interview on The Big Story, Hardileza said China should be held liable for environmental destruction in the West Philippine Sea. Experts earlier discovered dead corals in the area, which are believed to have been dumped by China for reclamation.
Anything is possible, but my reaction is I always keep saying, let's continue by filing a Part 2 case to the big arbitral win that we had in 2016. We should file the new case, arbitral case, the same UNCLOS tribunal for damages caused to the environment. Because the big win we had in 2016 already said that China as a country is responsible for the environmental degradation.
Hardileza adds that President Bongbong Marcos should decide on the matter immediately to secure time for the legal process.
The president has to make a decision very soon. Why? Because there's going to be midterm elections. If we don't seize the moment, people will forget these issues. Or what I'm afraid of, now we have had a presidential election. I don't know how much Chinese money was spread around.
Alex Ayala is on the verge of making history for Philippine tennis. Trailing by a set in 2-4 in the decider, Ayala fought back to win against world number 137 Taylor Preston in the French Open women's singles qualifier 4-6, 6-4, 7-5. She now needs to beat Argentina's Julia Riera to become the first Filipina to make a Grand Slam main draw. Ayala's potential Grand Slam appearance would mark a significant milestone for Philippine tennis. And Alas Pilipinas, our national volleyball team, is set to face the Volleyroos of Australia later today. Alas Pilipinas head coach Jorge De Brito did his homework to scout Australia in their opening game against Chinese Taipei last night, where Australia won in 4 sets. De Brito pointed out Australia's advantage in height, but he believes Alas Pilipinas could counter that with their speed and, of course, the home crowd. Alas Pilipinas' first serve is at 7 p.m. Watch the games live on One Sports and Pilipinas Live app.
First of all, we are playing at home. We can play faster than them, and we have a good lineup. So the guys are really committed to play hard. I don't think that it will be easy for them.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 9 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Pauline Verzosa. We are One News.